Can you just give or shed some light on returning citizens and them being able to vote? Because there is misinformation, disinformation based around that. Can you elaborate and talk a little bit about that?
I love this. During our new hire process, we have 55 people on our team. We need another 25 to be successful, so we're still hiring. Well, orientation for us, we ask the question of our new hires, when do you feel most powerful? When I give my answer on those new hire orientation Zooms, I say it's the moment I register somebody who was formerly incarcerated who thought that they didn't have the right to vote. And I'm able to speak to them and say, absolutely, yes, you do.
See,
Yes.
yes.
And I'll give you the perfect example of this. 2, 3 weeks ago, I was in Erie, and I registered a young man, not young, not so young, around my age, to get registered to vote. We knocked on his door in Erie. And I'll tell you, most people wouldn't have knocked on his door because he had 2 barking dogs. He had a gate set up outside that didn't look like it was super secure. But I'm known to do a little wild thing. So I did knock on his door, and he came out and he said, I can't get registered to vote. And I knew exactly what he meant when he said, I can't get registered to vote. And I said, what do you mean? He said, yeah. He's like, I'm a felon. And I was like, well, I'm formerly incarcerated. The moment your feet hit the street, you're eligible to vote. And I'm out here talking to you right now outside of your house,
Hello.
which means you are eligible to vote right now.
Wow.
So let's get you registered. And we held, and this man is Latino, so we had to get through with some of the dialogue,
sure.
and we finally get this man registered to vote, and he walks back into his house, and he's walking back in his house, and he says, hallelujah.
Wow.
Hallelujah. And we walk down the street to get to the next door, and the man is still in his house saying, hallelujah, hallelujah. And I get chills every time I tell this because this is so real. I mean, the amount of folks that we have who are formerly incarcerated who have been lied to, or maybe they got out 15, 20 years ago, when in Pennsylvania you could not be registered to vote. You had to wait 5 years.
Yeah.
But that's no longer. So the moment your feet hit the street, you are eligible to vote. If you're currently incarcerated, waiting on sentencing or conviction, you are also still eligible to vote.
Oh, wow.
If you are in jail for a misdemeanor, you are eligible to vote.
What?
Yes. So so many people have no idea about this because they've been misled and they believe they don't have the freedom to vote, and they do. And the only difference, or those who cannot, are those who were incarcerated based upon some kind of voting right fraud, then they have to wait 5 years. Or if you are in a halfway house and part of your sentencing has you in a halfway house, then technically you're still incarcerated, so you don't have the freedom to vote. But when you're living on your own and you're doing your own thing, I don't care if you paid your fines or fees or you talk to your PO, none of that matters. You have the right to vote. So go ahead and get registered to vote. And some people, we come across and they'll say no. And we want to say to them, what is the reason? No one's going to really offer up, I'm formerly incarcerated, right? People don't usually just offer that up. And so trying to, in a sly way, mention this. Well, just so you know, formerly incarcerated here in Pennsylvania, this is where we are progressive as a state, as the Commonwealth. The moment your feet hit the street, you're eligible to vote again.